Take your wildest dream and make it a reality. Make it not a dream anymore. Make it something that's real. Bring it to fruition. Tell yourself you're a star.
Peace. Choose to inspire, not destroy podcast, and we're back.
Austin.
Yo. Choose to inspire, not destroy.
Ain't that yesterday?
Thought I was on my Doctor Strange. I was about to go back. Nah, man. That's what's up. I missed you. I ain't even gonna front. Peace. Choose to inspire, not destroy podcast, episode 40, and we're back. I got my guys with me, Brandon, Kofi, I'm G. If this is your first time here, you're safe. Thank you for joining us. If you've been here before, appreciate you sticking with us, and I hope life is good and you're inspired. Really quick, I just want to say thank you to the new subscribers that we had. We appreciate you. Appreciate you tuning in and giving us a shot, and we hope that you've enjoyed the content that we trying to bring, and we hope that you join the movement and stick with us, man. It's going to be fun, and we got some things working. Fellas, what's going on? How y'all been?
Whoa.
Go ahead.
If you like this type of conversation and you enjoyed these discussions that we're having, check out the old episodes. You know, there's plenty in the backlog. But also check out the Uninspired Inspiration podcast that G has by himself.
Yes. Good
he
plug.
got a few people coming through.
Good plug, my man. Good plug.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. One other thing I just want to clear up. Before I said you're all invited, and you are all invited to share your story, to come through if you're living inspired or you got some things that you want to get off your chest. But I just want to be clear that this is a mental health check. It's a mental health channel, and we're here to try and help each other get through some things and unpack some baggage and get that load up off our back. So if it's something that you feel like you really want to express and you don't know how to do it, this is the platform for you. I promise you, we'll keep you safe and we'll handle you with care. Come through, kick it with us, and let's see if we could build and add on to this movement.
Certainly so. How's y'all week been, fellas?
You don't want to know.
Busy.
Because I'm going to talk about that.
busy. But,
right. I mean, this is the space, right? This is a safe space. Go ahead, G.
Bro,
lead
this
up.
squirrel, I feel like I'm going to fall off my roof trying to get rid of this squirrel, man. Like, it's driving me crazy because I figured out where it's at by the chimney. So now when it start making its move, I'm running out there and I'm getting it away. I'm chasing it away. Today, it found a new spot. It's like a vent in the front of my house. I don't even know what the vent is for, but it's like the shape of a triangle. It's going in there now. So it's like I chased it out of one spot to another spot. And I'm just standing outside looking and trying to figure out what's happening. And I'm going to have to call somebody.
He's got you like itchy and scratchy right now.
Yeah.
Or
like Tom and Jerry.
Yeah, you just got to let it be. Man. You've got to realize that, you got a squatter and you just got to live with it.
It's going to be like when Tom burned the house down and Jerry was outside.
Yeah, you're going to open your mailbox one day, it's getting mail sent to your house. Like, it's crazy.
Nah, it's no good, man. I came back from the supermarket today, and it was just on the roof looking. And then when I pulled in, it ran off. And it's just like, oh, man. Y'all wouldn't mind if it wasn't scratching or doing whatever it's doing in there. I understand it's cold. If you need to be somewhere and just chill. But you tan something up in there, man.
So why don't you pack the hole with cotton, make it like, comfortable. So when it goes in there, like, oh, all right, well, I don't really have to do much. And then it's warm. It's
going to eat through that. It's going to eat
if you ever know what mice will do with like insulation, they'll like collect it. And they're like, yeah, thank you. And bring it where they want it to go. So it ain't going to change nothing.
Yeah, they violate that. I'm not trying to make it comfortable. It's almost animal cruelty, the point I'm getting to now with trying to get rid of this thing.
You got to get you a BB gun, fam. That's the only option.
You reading my mind. You reading my mind.
Yeah.
I gotta get a BB gun every time you turn into the red question mark. Cool.
Yeah, I think when I swing by on the 26th, I'm gonna pull up. You're gonna have a leash like people have for cats, and that little squirrel's gonna be on a leash. You're just gonna be walking it around.
It's gonna be one of the pets now. It's gonna be the kids been asking for a pet. They about to have a pet squirrel or something.
That's perfect. That's how you end up not having to do the work. If you can catch it, you can keep
Why am I going sideways right now?
Make it a yeah. I can't, man.
There you go.
I'm
My it's crazy right now.
At some point.
Nah, just off the hook.
And then see what it is.
Oh wait, I think I can do it just like that. Ah, there we go.
But
no, now
you upside down, B.
What the hell is happening right now?
This dude.
Hold on, wait. Can I just?
He's stuck in the metaverse.
Bang!
Yeah,
there you go.
Please.
There we go.
You should do the. I'm telling you, George. You should do the. If you catch it, you keep it, and send them on the scavenger hunt for it.
You know what's crazy? I spoke to my sister the other day, and she was like, "Oh, there's been like a wave of fighting, attacking squirrels lately around the world."
Is that a real thing?
That's not. Is that a real thing?
I have no idea.
I don't know, because I was like, damn, yo, I just told you I'm having a squirrel problem, and you talking about squirrels attacking people and what?
Yeah, you need
and
to
I'm
chill
like,
for that
right.
squirrel. Set it off on you.
Wait, squirrels attacking people?
Yeah, she said that it's like a thing, and it's not just in one place. But I don't know. She don't be knowing what she talking about sometimes, man.
Yeah, hopefully
I can expect that from pigeons, because pigeons over the years have gotten really bold. Like, remember when you were a kid, pigeons would fly away as soon as you got close? Now they just look at you like,
yeah,
okay.
New York pigeons.
Sometimes,
sure.
you know.
Real.
And then seagulls, right? I never understood how bad seagulls were until I was at the beach recently, and
oh yeah, no, they'll come.
Food,
they'll come right for you.
But it's never happened to me before, and then all of a sudden I'm like, yo, what is like they swoop down, take your food? Like,
yeah, that's from people feeding them.
Yo, what's wild to me about pigeons is I didn't realize like it was like a New York City problem. I thought everywhere, right? Like pigeons. Yo, I live in upstate New York. I live in New York still. Haven't seen a pigeon unless I go to the city.
Yeah.
There's mad birds, all different varieties, no pigeons.
Yeah, pigeons.
That reminds me, y'all remember Animaniacs with the pigeons, and they were the mobsters? Mm-hmm. Telling you, it's a New York thing.
Yo. All right, y'all. We talking about pigeons and squirrels. This is not National Geographic. I apologize if this is your first time here and we deviating, but you know I haven't talked to my guys just one-on-one in a minute. We've been having guests consistently, and we'll get back to that. This one is just gonna be us, and I feel like it's a good topic because I want to know if you guys think at some point the relationships that you've had with women, you've had those relationships to fill some of the gaps of things that you might have been missing in life at some point. I don't know if I worded it properly, but you get the idea of what I'm asking, right?
Yeah, and 1,000%. I think I am absolutely that person, right? Because I'm never not in a relationship. Double negative, but ignore that, right? Like I'm consistently in a relationship. So if I break up with Jennifer on Monday, I'm with Teresa on Tuesday, right? Like there's no gaps. And that's always, primarily because like I have abandonment issues, but it also like one bad relationship, right? Like if you don't address that kind of trauma, will have you treating people badly or women badly for a long time, right? Until you like come to the root of it. Like if you have one girl cheat on you and then you start treating women like trash going forward, that absolutely is like a projection that you should have to deal with. But until you do, you're just going to be a terrible partner.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's almost, I debate because it feels like it's almost natural, right? To break up with someone, right? And then want to be with somebody else almost immediately, because I think human nature is you don't want to be alone, right? Like humans are meant to congregate and be, you know, at least that's how we're hardwired, right? To congregate and kind of be in tribes, right? Or groups or some type of organizational method of being together, right? So being alone there's some people that can do it, but I wonder if that's like an atypical trait to have, kind of like it's rare that you come across a serial killer that is completely outgoing and wants to be around people. There's sociopaths, right? But like not serial killers that stalk people and like, right? Like you always read that like they were loners, they really studied people and like didn't like being in large groups or being around people. So I think for most humans, you want to be with a companion or in a larger group, a part of something. So yes, I've totally been in relationships one after another for a period of my life where it's like, yeah, I don't want to be alone, right? And you start justifying like, oh, I think this person is so much better and great and blah 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 blah, blah. And you ignore the things that either you need to work on or that aren't so great, that don't make this relationship better than the last, just because you don't want to be alone. Like the bed gets cold no matter how high you turn up the heat in the winter. The bed gets cold and lonely.
That's the drop. The bed gets cold.
I'm kind of. It's almost the same. Like, me and you, our situation is similar with that, with what you're saying, because I've always been the relationship dude. Like I've never wanted to be single or be alone. And then like your friends and people around you, they kind of be like, oh, maybe you should take some time and be by yourself, or you need to know what it's like to be by yourself. And I'm like, nah. I'm cool.
Yeah, for real.
I'm with myself all the time. I know what it's like to be with myself. I need somebody else to distract me from being with myself. Like, it's hard over here. And I didn't realize it, though, until I was older. And I started to notice it, that it was more like a need than a want. It was like, yo, I don't like this feeling when there's a gap of me not having somebody to talk to or having somebody to spend time with or be with. And then it's kind of tough when you in a relationship and it's not a great relationship and you still feel alone inside that relationship. It's just like a pattern. Where I think that pattern comes from, though, B, I know you said abandonment issues, and Kofi, you said not wanting to be alone, but what sparks those feelings?
And I think it's hardwired. People are just hardwired to find kinship, right? Because even when you break up with, right, your significant other, right, outside of like marriage, right, like you're dating, someone, you break up with them, you immediately call your friends and want to hang out with them, right? It's rare where you're like, nah, and then you start trying to get back into that pattern of being around that group of people, right? And doing the things that you missed out on that you can now do with that group of people. It's rare where you break up with somebody and you don't call any friends and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna just, contemplate my thoughts and watch my shadow in the dark. Like that just, it feels almost off.
Kind of tangentially related to that, and I'm sorry to kind of steal the question a little bit, but how do you think your relationship with your friends has affected you?
Me or both? Affected
both.
Me. Well, my I've never had female friends. So when I say my friends, it's always guys. And I think they've replaced a side of loneliness, but they never could replace the woman side, if that makes sense. Like I know my reason for feeling like I always needed companionship, and being with them, it just distracted me. It just took my mind away from the real thirst.
Makes sense. I would say my friend, like I have friends of both, I guess, genders, maybe. And I say that because I don't know the proper way to describe all of the what are they called? Genders that we're dealing with now. I don't even know if genders are the right word, but I have friends of all gamuts. We'll leave it at that. It's weird because it's almost like you pick up where you, at least for me, where we left off. But I try and make a conscious effort in relationships to incorporate them and bring them along for the ride. So, it's not I get into a relationship and then they're isolated, and then, it's that awkward, like, hey, oh, Kofi's back around. That must mean he's no longer with this person or whatever. I also do that because there are times, and I'm sure we've all had this in relationships, where you just want to go to your friends and be like, am I crazy? Or like, does this not make any sense with, my significant other? And having them, in obviously not any of the intimate details, but like just like general stuff, and like having them around and like to witness things or whatever. One, they can corroborate that you're not crazy, or two, they can check you when you are crazy. Like, no, you're completely out of your mind. Like, what are you thinking? And I think it helps sometimes to have friends like that from the opposite sex, because they're, they may be able to say, hey, listen, this is actually how she's feeling, though it doesn't come across that way. Like, be impartial, but understand how to, I guess, explain that other point of view that you wouldn't get from having friends of the opposite sex and only the opposite sex.
Kind of also, I'm pretty, like, I don't want to blame another person for my own actions, but like a lot of bad habits that I've had through the years, I picked up from my friends, right? Like if my friends were doing something negative and we were hanging out, then we were doing something negative, right? Like whatever that thing might be. Or like at a time where I was trying to be out there with a lot of women, right? That's a behavior that's like that. I don't want to say it's still currently, but at the time that was reinforced behavior from like your friends and stuff like that. Like they're like, nah, you gotta get it where you can get it and keep going and all of that. So like a lot of those type of behaviors, I don't want to say it's like to impress your friends, but like it's a give and take kind of situation where it's not only the positive that I got from them, but some bad friends left some bad impressions, right? Like I was good with school. I cut school just to be with my friends, right? Like,
so it's the whole birds of a feather flock together thing. I just think at that time too, being faithful or just being with one person, it wasn't cool. And saying it now, it sounds crazy, but that's just what the reality was. It was kind of like, guys, you ran around and tried to be with as many girls as possible, and girls were the ones that were faithful and wanted to just be with one person. And it flipped now, I think, but I don't want to get into that. But it's just different. I see what both of y'all are saying, and I agree.
Do you think it's because it's a lack of, I don't want to say a lack of options, right? But like, there's theories out there that believe early on in a man's life, right, a straight man's life, like it's very hard for him to be able to acquire women, right? Whereas early on for women, guys are throwing themselves at them all the time, so they can be very choosy, right? And then as you get older, it kind of flips on its head, right? Where you now become more desirable, right? Through like experience, age, whatever you have going on. And so what women may experience early on from like teenage years up until like mid 30s, men start to experience from like 30 on, right? With like, like he's a DILF, like going to the supermarket and having random women flirt with you for no reason because you're, either with your kids or you're just doing grocery shopping, right? Things that you wouldn't get when you're like 17, 18, 19, that you start to experience when you're like 40, 50, 35, 40, 50.
But I'm not gonna lie, I had a good run in my 17, 18, 19s. I had some women just throwing themselves at me basically. My wife.
Do you think it was on the scale that
when she
Do you think it was on the scale that? So let's take this.
Oh,
so Brandon,
he got his Elder Barge hair on, so he feeling himself
you gotta cut that part out. I mean, yo.
So Brandon, was it on the scale of if you were 17, 18 and your now wife was 17, 18, do you think it was at the same clip as her? Where guys were throwing themselves at her versus what women were throwing themselves at you in terms of numbers?
Man, I'm not going down that rabbit hole. No, thank you.
He finally learned something. Yeah, good job. Kofi tried to line you up real quick. Because I wasn't gonna pull you up out of that one. I was gonna let you get ahead and drown.
painted the entrance on the side of the wall, Roadrunner style.
Yeah, Kofi tried to play himself real quick. Yeah. All right, let me steer it back to what my theory was, because honestly, for me, I feel like at that time it was a bunch of things. I think it was me not really seeing a certain type of relationship, so not even really knowing what a healthy, functioning relationship was supposed to be like with a woman. You know, it was nobody to really guide me and tell me this is how you treat a woman. Like how when Izzy was on and he said his dad taught him how to treat a woman and told him how to act in certain things. I didn't have that sort of guidance. So I think trying to figure it out on my own, and like you said, knowing what my friends was doing and just following behind what they was doing, and then just struggling with wanting somebody to love me and wanting to feel like somebody wanted me and I was desirable, and not just in a physical way, but just for somebody to see me and pay me some attention. And I think just not having that, with not experiencing it with my mom or with my sister raising me, or just any woman, I think I just always had a yearning for that type of acceptance. And, you know, once I started getting it, I just wanted more of it. It was like, okay, you know, I'm important now. This person likes me. Girls like me. I'm in relationships, and not realizing how destructive that behavior really was.
Yeah, sure indeed.
Would you say it's equivalent to a drug, an addiction to a drug?
Yeah.
Once you start getting it, like you're either chasing the high or you're just addicted to it, the attention.
Yeah, the whole experience, because it's a thing where it's like, you know, it's the thrill of the chase, they say, and
100%.
I don't want it to sound like that's my saying. That's not my saying, but that is what is said. And then when you actually get it, and you get to a certain point, and maybe you end up being physical with this person, all of these feelings that you thought you had, they just disappear. And at the time, you're just playing the game. You're just doing what you know how to do. You don't understand that this is a person that you're playing with. You know, this is a life that you're leaving a mark on in a negative way. Like it's not the right type of game to be playing with somebody. And I think I just got caught up in all of that, just thinking about me, and my pleasure. And like you said, the addiction, you know, you can't never get that same high. You get it one time,
Right.
and then it goes away, and then you on to the next. I need another thrill. I need somebody else to validate me somehow.
Yeah. Did you ever get? Oh, sorry, go ahead, Brenda.
Now it's not just dudes neither, right? Like, and it's not even just being physical. Sometimes just getting the girl's number, right? Like just that feels like an accomplishment, right? And like women at the bar, right, where they're like, how many dudes are gonna hit on me, and like going out to the club just to see if they still got it, right? Like everybody goes through it.
Well, and that you led right into my next question, which was going to be, did you ever get to a point where it no longer was about being physical, but the rush came from, can I get this person to the point that they would want to be physical? Not necessarily like in like, you know, the house with you, but like, I know at this point, if I say anything else, they're going to want to come over and be physical. And like, I'm going to just walk away because I want to prove it to myself.
Yeah.
And then that becomes a new drug or the new high, right? So it's like you move on from you know, your level 1 substance, controlled substance, to level 2, which is just getting them to the point is the new thing. The boring part would be continuing. And then it's like, how many people can I get to this point? Almost like, to your point, George, almost like stringing them along, but like stopping at before the point of no return.
Yo, my cousin James, shout out to you if you're watching. He used to have this saying that I used to like make women feel so special and like elevate them and put them on a pedestal and just like drop them and just be done. And it's like, you on your own now and I'm moving on, right? Just like that part of it was like, he was like, that's the part that I enjoy, right? Just like getting them to feel like they're special, or like getting, like knowing that I've accomplished that level of whatever it is from that person. That was it. I was good.
So you're an emotional ninja, is what you're saying?
Yo, I was a younger person. That wasn't me. I don't know that person no more.
Yeah. It's like a hurt people thing.
100%.
You know, like that's a real thing. You know, I think, you know, men kind of get this. It's not a bad rap, but it's an idea that we're purposely doing these things and we're getting a thrill out of it, but we don't really know what we're doing. Like sometimes we actually just don't know any better. You know, women think that we're just raised in this, and we just, you know, we come up with a certain understanding of who we're supposed to be because a woman is raising us. Like where's the balance in that? Like if your father isn't in the house, who's teaching you to be a man? You know, like a woman can nurture you and care for you, but it's certain things she's not going to be able to teach you. And as you grow up, it's certain things you're going to learn from your friends. You're going to learn from what you see on TV. You're going to learn just off of you developing on your own, and you always don't know the right way to go. And you carry this behavior and you do these things and you grow up. And you're not necessarily proud of these things when you grow up and when you become a man. And we shouldn't have to wear that forever. You know, the idea that men don't change and you can't teach an old dog new tricks is not a fair thing to put on all men. Because I learned a lot of new tricks. Like,
yeah, and perception is reality, right? Like if you say something enough times and you start to believe it, and you start to become that person that people have told you are, right? Like if you call me a thief so many times, there's only too many times before like I believe you, right? Like, all right, are you gonna call me a thief anyway?
Yeah.
What does it matter?
Yeah, that's a good point, B. I've felt like that for a long time. And you even touched on that one time. We was having a conversation, and I was talking to you when I first started the show, and I was like, "Yo, I don't think I'm doing enough. Like, I don't feel like I'm pushing as hard as I should be pushing." And you was kind of like, "Yo, dog, you trying? Like, give yourself a break.
Yeah.
You think you don't moving? You're not moving at all." And I thought about it. I was like, "All right, like, let me relax a little bit." Like, I kind of been told what I'm not for so long that I'm still stuck in that mindset.
Yeah, you got to, and it kind of related to that, you just got to see the small wins, right? You got to see like 10 views turn to 20, one subscriber turn to 2, and just like appreciate all of it, right? As soon as you start not like competing with the bigger numbers and the bigger channels or the bigger places or what you don't have, that road is endless. You just keep going down that path forever.
100%. So when is the change then? So, you know, you grow up, you're young, you're making these mistakes, you in these relationships. When does the light bulb go off that this ain't cool, I'm bugging out?
Yo, for me, it was actually seeing, because I like a rap quote one of my friends said was like, all of my friends have babies. I ain't been to a wedding since the 80s, right? Like finally seeing like a positive structured relationship where like they were married and had children, and like he was working hard and she was like all of the things, right? Finally seeing that in person and like being a part of that environment changed it for me, right? Like knowing like, nah, they're super happy, like they're doing good. This is what I want to be. I want to be like a good father. I want to be a good man. I want my wife to love. Why am I chasing all these other women for no reason, right? Like it took like being able to actually tangibly see that for me to change.
I I think I think that's a good point. I think for me, it's when it starts to become expensive. Like when it started becoming expensive, right? Because it's easier to do when you're in close quarters, right? So like at college, that's easy to do, right? Because like you're not expected to, like, no one there is expected to really have anything. Everybody lives either in a dorm or a little bit off campus. If you work a little bit, it's not enough to like go out on like 1,500 dates, right? So it's like, all right, well, like everybody's close quarters. So like that's, the thing, if that's your thing. I think it's once you get out and you're working, you're like, yo, I make this. And after everything is said and done, I have this to play with. And like, that dinner was, $100. Like, do I want to do this 3 more times this week with somebody else? Or am I going to spend this, $150 on somebody that, is going to at least appears to be grateful, right? Because you never know until you get to know the person a lot better to understand, are they truly grateful or whatever, right? But you can only go with face value in the beginning. And it's like, do I want to consistently do this? And then I'm eating ramen noodles because I went out 3 times this week to have dinner, and I'm eating ramen noodles for the rest of the month, right? And then I think also, you along those lines, like as you start to get older, you start to realize that the minimum expectation for something like that, right, in terms of like material things starts to become, it's the bar starts to raise, right? So it's no longer, the movies and like McDonald's like in high school or something, right? Now it's like Red Lobster. Then it's like, Nobu or, Joe Stone Crab in Miami. And it's like, again, can my pockets really do that? Right. And there's some people, endless funds, like that's what they do. They love it. Right. And then there's other people that are like, yeah, that's a waste of money. And then there's other people like, yo, I can't afford that lifestyle. That's crazy. And, then you start to wonder, are these people really, interested in me because of, the great conversation I think we have, or is it just a free meal for them?
What about you, Jay? You want to change?
Yo, Kofi, you really are a numbers guy, bro. Like there
It
was
runs the world,
nothing
man. Runs the
emotional
world.
He'll
about
never eat cat food. I'll tell you
your
that.
answer. Yo, like,
Right?
come on, bro. You didn't even try to sneak in, like, yo, when I just didn't think it was cool to be doing that no more. It was like, hey, I'm not trying to be spending $100
It was an
3 times a
equation.
week on no man.
But like that's the thing, right? So like I rarely thought it was cool to do that. Like I never really, 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 really did that. Like not to the excess that like I have friends that, were jumping around, sleeping with like 6 or 7 people a week. Like also I'm a hypochondriac. You guys know that when it comes to health. And I'm like, bruh, like
Yeah.
People.
there is stuff that like doesn't show up for like 3 weeks. How you gonna keep track, right, of who it was, right? Like that's so.
Nah, I get it.
But it's both, right? It's that I was never really into it, and it's the numbers. So he's just like, like $300. Like, you're $300 right now.
I get it. And I was just messing with you. And that's kind of why I wanted to talk about it too, because I felt like me and B, our reasons would be similar, just going off of our history with our mothers and that side of the yearning for some sort of attention. And you having your mom and having your grandmother, I wanted to see if there was a similarity with that, like the perspective that we all would have. And I think we all kind of gave that. But for me, selfishly, it was when it didn't really make me feel good anymore. It was like my conscience started to kick in, and the more experiences it was and the more times it happened, it was like, I don't really feel like a good person doing this to somebody. Like I'm trying to be a good person. I got all of this other stuff already going on inside of me, and, I'm an angry person a lot of the time. I don't want to be taking that out on somebody else that's just trying to care for me, because I can't front. I haven't been in a lot of situations where I've been mistreated by a female. I've usually been the person causing that mistreatment in some sort of way, or it was like this isn't the type of man that I'm trying to be. and I see the damage that it's doing to these people when they're just trying to be good to me, you know. And then, yo, my wife again, she's always like the cornerstone for a lot. It was like I had so much history to look back on. I knew I would never be that type of person with her. She would never get that side of me that I couldn't do that to her, because I know you can't get that back. You know, it don't matter how great of a partner you are. Once you slip and you mess up that trust and that bond, it'll never be the same. And I knew I never wanted to have to deal with that. I never wanted her to have to look at me and be like, damn, this isn't the man that I thought he was. And I didn't give her my all.
Yeah, there's nothing more like destroying as a man than having that face to face where you see it in their eyes and you're like, damn, I fucked up. Like, this ain't it.
Just one other point. It also changed when I got confident in my cooking, and I was like, we're not. Nah.
Yeah. When I
You
can
want
make
steak,
my own snacks, I don't really need you no more.
Mm-hmm. Right, but it was more of like, okay, you want to go out for steak. Well, I've learned how to make steak to order, so why you want to go to BLT where the steaks are $200? No, I get same thing, right? Medium, rare, whatever you want. So like, nah.
Yeah, you really can make a good steak. I ain't gonna front, bro.
Yeah, my wife was saying we need to come visit soon.
We got to do that again.
Yeah, I need some sides this time though, bro.
Sure.
Just give me a little bit of steak and some other stuff. You know what's funny? Like, not to deviate, but my wife, she kind of balked on me that day because I wanted some more of that salad. You know what I mean? Like, I looked at my plate and it was like, yo, it was all steak, and then it was chicken, and yeah, it just was heavy, and it was like a spoonful of salad. So I was eating the salad and I was like, oh, it's pomegranate seeds in this? Like, this is good. I didn't think you could eat pomegranate seeds comfortably. I was enjoying it, and I was like, yo, I tried to whisper to it like, yo, babe, why you ain't give me more salad? And she was like, oh, you gotta leave some for everybody else. I didn't want to just give you all the salad. I was like, yo, bro, there's a humongous bowl of salad over there. Like,
was it left over like a day?
Yeah. Yeah, she made me feel crazy. I was like, damn, I want to be like, yeah, give the guy with diabetes all the carbs. Like, like, give me hardly no salad. Make me eat all of these carbs and meat. Next time, your wife, Coach, she got to hook up some of that salad, bro.
Yeah, she's been doing a couple of other salads. I mean, they're delicious, but they definitely go better with like a protein.
Yeah,
with
a small amount steak of protein. Yeah, like, he was feeding us like we was training for the Olympia or something.
Yo, the way Kofi cares about health is in complete contradiction to the way he eats.
Yeah,
it mind blows me every time.
Yeah,
well, I know you gotta
like,
always get
that's crazy.
Make sure you're on and eat that as a side of cheesecake.
But I think I like to say that's why I can have a breakfast cheesecake, because I try and go to the doctor as much as possible, and like, yeah, working out sucks, and I'm not in the tone shape that I want to be in, but I do realize that's because I like breakfast cheesecake or breakfast steak, or every once in a while, like, ice cream with hot fudge on it. Like, I love food too much. I don't think I could ever be like cut up, because I love the way food looks, tastes, smells, the way you have to figure out how to reheat it the right way so it tastes just like it did when, like, there's so.
Bruh, you agree?
Yo, you got an unhealthy relationship with food, man.
Yeah, that might be your vice.
Yeah,
like for us, it was women. For you, it's snacks.
Sugar and fat.
I know it was real when he asked me if I wanted ice cream and cheesecake. I was like, bro,
they go together.
That don't mix. Who eats ice cream and cheesecake?
It totally goes together. There's ice cream now made with cheesecake chunks inside of it.
So having a little taste of cheesecake in your ice cream is not the same thing as having cheesecake.
Well, how much is a little taste when you eat the whole pint?
Having cheesecake a la mode is different, fam.
Yeah. Listen, please do me a favor out there. If you think Kofi is greedy as hell, please drop a cake, pie, ice cream cone, some sort of symbol in the comments. Let us know what you think, because we got to get to the bottom of this. We got to get him some help.
I'm telling you, if we get sponsored, if we get sponsored by Goldbelly, I would be in heaven. Because with the sponsorship comes free stuff, and that is my favorite go-to place to order dessert from across the world and have it delivered to
snacks.
Yeah, he know I'm not fronting
Willy
on
Wonka.
sponsorships.
I will plug them every episode if they just give me unlimited snacks.
All right, we got the red question mark again. Another thing, please, if you're tired of the red question mark, matter of fact, just leave a bunch of red question marks in the comments. For now on, when I'm doing the intro, B is going to be known as the red question mark, and that's it. He's going to miss the outro because I'm about to wrap it up. Kofi, it's been a pleasure. B, you're going to have to watch it back and see what happened. If you're out there, hope life is good. Hope you inspired. This one was just, me and my guys kicking it, taking a little break from the whole mental health check thing. And we hope that you stick with us and you enjoy what we doing and what we trying to do. B, I'm going to show you some love. Go ahead and wrap it up for us, bro. I'm doing the outro.
Yo, whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, you're always welcome here. Choose to inspire, not destroy. But first of all, if you're inspired, drop a light bulb in the comments. Check out the other podcasts. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Share the content. Or, we thank you just by watching the podcast. Thank you for being with us again. G, you know what you got to do.
Whoever you are, wherever you are, no matter what you're doing, just be inspired. Choose to inspire, not destroy. You heard? Peace.
Peace, guys.
Yo, choose to inspire, not destroy.